see there Argus's camera, right? But what also is in the foreground is the Argus meso. So at 50 meters, that thing goes in the down position. So right now, that's why you can see a bit of weirdness in there. See some blue.
I'm just going to zoom in with on Herc here to check the focus.
Partially down.
Thanks.
Can you tilt your camera down there? Jacob, tilt your camera down. Sorry, I should have been clear. Y'all ready? Control van's ready. Okay, Jake, go ahead, bump the winch. Copy. Ta-da. I'm feeling spicy. I'll clear the trails here. But if I'm feeling spicy, I'll clear the trails. 994. 994. Roger. I might change the protocol to have this up already because we're having better luck with that. But if not, it's start all nav vest. There you go. Here, do the same thing. I'll clear my trails over here. World's stupidest way to clear trails. Thank you. And just at this point, usually just take a look through this guy, make some first initial measurements. So you kind of already know what's happening. Yeah.
Good morning, Nautilus crew.
Good morning. Good evening. Good morning.
Good morning.
I see you're setting up.
Yeah, I wasn't
So you're
quite
setting
clear
up.
that salutation was appropriate.
It's an either
So
or
are both
situation.
ROVs in the water?
Yes, both ROVs are in the water and descending.
And are you going through any checks right now? Or are you clear to descend?
We are on descent right now. Current depth is 115 meters.
Great. So we are on our way to the seafloor at Pioneer Canyon, the south head of the canyon. And we will be doing some work similar to yesterday in that we will be performing some standardized transects in 3 different habitat types: hard bottom habitat, soft bottom habitat, and a mix of the 2. We'll also be collecting some coral and sponge organisms for taxonomy purposes to see what they are and collect them to do some investigations on, as well as keeping them in museums to better understand what sort of organisms live in the deep sea. And some organisms we still don't even know have names for, so that is always a fun thing to find out. And we'll be collecting some water samples for eDNA, which is environmental DNA. Animals shed skin cells that leave in the water column for up to maybe a few days. And by collecting water, we can actually extract the DNA and see what was there. Even though we might not see it with the video camera, their DNA will be shed in the water. And we may be collecting some sediment cores for quantification of bioturbation in marine snow. And then if we're lucky, we might do a little 3D mosaic of a structure that has a lot of critters on it. So just some introductions. My name is Erica Burton. I am an employee of the Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary, which we are currently sailing in. I'm a biologist by trade, study deep sea fishes and more so corals. And I'll pass the mic over to our other scientists in the room and then to the ROV crew that are on the ship themselves. Go take it away, Kirsten.
Hi, good morning. This is Kirsten Lindquist. I work for the Greater Farallones Association as a biologist running the research program. I also work very closely with the Greater Farallones National Marine Sanctuary, and where we are right now in Pioneer Canyon is in a part of Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary that is administered by Greater Farallones. So I am here working with Erica this evening for this cruise, and thrilled to be here.
All right, how about those in the control van? Are you able to speak right now, or are you busy?
Sure. I'm Taylor Ann. I am a master's student at Cal State Northridge and currently the data logger aboard the Nautilus. And I'm back here getting ready to have all the samples put away and logged and take pictures of everything that we're seeing and take observations every moment of the dive. So I'm looking forward to see what we're going to find. Probably going to see a lot of blue water for a while, but paying attention to what we're seeing here in the water column as well on the way down.
Great. How about our ROV pilot? Dan, are you here today?
He's here. I think he's listening to somebody on a walkie-talkie.
Okay, we'll wait for them. Right now we're seeing a bunch of little fish in the water. I think they are nyctopids, so I'll have to take a better look.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. Pretty chunky on the front end of their bodies. It's like nyctopids.
So it's probably going to take us about an hour to get down to depth. I think our target is around 900 meters. And we'll be seeing this deep scattering layer, which are these fishes that make migrations to the sea surface at night, and then they descend again when the sun comes up. So that's probably what we're seeing here.
Looks like a mixture of zooplankton as well. Looks like Dan's waking things up.
See some squid in the distance.
Do you think that's probably market squid?
Yeah, I didn't get a good view, but probably. This is nice footage.
Yeah, it really is.
So some of the deep sea fish, especially these myctophids, they have counterbalancing lighting. That they have photophores on their underside. So if predators are beneath them and they are looking up into the water column, the photophores can actually make it look like the myctophids disappear. So the predators can't see them. And the photophores are lined up in different ways on the body, and that's what we use to identify them. So most of the time, if their other morphology isn't unique, most of the time we're spending looking at myctophids under the microscope, counting the photophores. And there have been taxonomists or scientists that actually have created guides to the patterns of the photophores on the underbelly.
You can see some of these myctophids actually opening their mouths and feeding. They may well be using the light of the ROV in this moment.
There's the market squid you were speaking of. And I
was
saw
that
a
sorry, did
larvation
you see?
sinker. Oh no, I missed it. But yes, we would typically see those here. And occasionally we'll see some siphonophores in like a chain, a long gelatinous organism. And I have seen some larvation sinkers, which are the mucus web that they will shed every once in a while. They produce this mucus web to collect organisms. Ooh, that's a long siphonophore. You saw that passing by. It's great to be able to be diving at midnight because the myctophyll layer is pretty thick at the surface like this. This is great. Although we are at 300 meters now, it still will be pretty thick up to 500 meters at this time of night. That's a big sinker, that web mucus that's passing by us.
Hey, we got 28-meter delta. I don't know if that's purposeful. There, Dan. 30-meter delta. Yeah. As long as you're happy, I just want to alert you to it.
It's fun to get all different angles on those squid as they come by. Sometimes they're facing us, sometimes they're facing away.
Mm-hmm. And occasionally they will ink. So keep an eye out for that.
So as Erica was mentioning about the photophores on the bottom of these nyctophids, there are a lot of different strategies that these deep sea fish have in terms of coloration, usually to be invisible, but also to distract, confuse, or attract prey. And so a lot of species down in the deep where we're going, where there's no light, will tend to have red, be red, have some clear parts. The deeper you go, that becomes more and more common.
Got
But
you
some
rapidly
people
approaching
think
in
that
down
this,
cam there.
just because there isn't light down there, that
Yeah.
there aren't colors, or that there certainly are. And we see that.
Ooh. So that's spicy. You got it, Argus and port cam. Okay, just double check. Looks like we might be clear of it. You can pause the descent if you want, Dan.
Check, check.
Anyone having trouble with camera one?
Mine was a little jerky. I just reloaded it.
Yeah.
Under the secure back door.
Yeah. Oh. Still getting the same.
I was watching. Yeah. Do you think you're wrapped around it, or you think you're all right?
Back in business.
Good.
Did you see what I sent you, Erica?
So that's another reason why,
Not yet.
unless we're doing a sample, you want the port cam and the starboard cam out. So now you've got all around the vehicle you can see. It's kind of an example of why you want that. But we were able to pick it in one of them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying over here privately to her. Yeah, yeah.
So we're currently at 355 meters and descending.
With all of the calm type apps available, there should be one for the midwater ROV descent. It's pretty soothing.
That would be
Yeah, I could use one of those.
exciting to you and I, though. That wouldn't be calming necessarily.
Oh, maybe. Well, for some, maybe
What
not.
is that? Oh, for some, I think definitely. I think for me, I would be energized. But I'm not everyone.
Just doing an audio check over here. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. 1, 2, 3.
Check, check. Yeah, I'm very happy. Yeah.
I'm just over the top to be aboard Nautilus. I'm just, every day I'm so grateful that I'm working.
How's that sounding now?
And every day I'm amazed that they actually invite me back, or every year.
Well, I certainly wish we were on the Nautilus right now. They didn't invite us on, given the, well, we were invited on, but during the time of COVID.
What's it been like being on watch from your homes?
Well, I wish I had all the big screens you have in the control van. And it's great to be in the control van with all of you. But I was mentioning yesterday that the telepresence capabilities of Nautilus are quite amazing, that we can actually do some of this at home. Of course, we can't drive the ROVs. We don't have the skills for one. That's left up for the Nautilus crew. But we have ROV pilots and navigators and data loggers on the ship actually doing that. And the scientists are at home observing from their computer screens. Some of us has several computer screens up trying to stay on top of it all. So far, so good. It's been great.
Good to hear. Yeah, it would have been fun to have everyone aboard this year, but just got to wait it out till it's safe to do that again. I'm glad we get to do this, though, in some capacity. It's great.
It really is phenomenal that this is an option. But the fact that Nautilus streams, that OAT streams this kind of information all the time for people at home is such an incredible gift. I mean, how eye-opening to so many people who just, don't live near the coast or live near the coast but just never get to see anything at depth. It's a good reality check on how crazy this planet is.
That it is. Yeah, I grew up in the Midwest and didn't ever come into contact with the ocean until I was an adult. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I substitute taught at a elementary school last year in the suburbs of Chicago and showed the kids what we do here at OET and on the Nautilus, and it was just amazing to see their faces light up to see like all this stuff existed. They had no idea, and so yeah, hopefully inspire some little kids to keep watching. I wish I had this growing up.
What amphipod?
So I'll just say a few words about where we're headed. We're headed to the Pioneer Canyon. It's in the northern portion of Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary. And as Kirsten said, it's administered by the staff at Greater Farallones National Marine Sanctuary to the north. And there are two heads of Pioneer Canyon. Yesterday, we were in the northern head, and today we're headed to the southeast head of Pioneer Canyon. And we're about due west of Half Moon Bay, a little bit southwest of San Francisco. And the canyon is about 50 kilometers long, and its depth ranges from 200 meters to 2,500 meters. So today we're going to be around 900 meters deep, making our way into shallower water, maybe up to 600 if we make it through this long dive. About a 20 to 24 hour dive. And yeah. So just a few things about Pioneer. I hope to see corals and sponges, and hopefully it'll be a little different from yesterday. We'll see. It's a different head, but we are in the same vicinity.
Pioneer Canyon was actually created when the sea level was much lower than it is today, and the Sacramento River actually carved the canyon itself. It's a little bit mind-boggling for those of us who live in the Bay Area and can kind of picture how different things must have been for that to have happened. There are a lot of soft sediments that are deposited on the surrounding areas and on the walls of the canyon. And earthquakes and things, earthquakes and just gravity, the weight of the sediments that are deposited fairly quickly at sometimes cause slides and things, which help keep the canyon open instead of just filling with sediment. As Erica mentioned, we've known for a long time that it was habitat for corals and sponges because of corals and sponges that came up in early years in fishing nets and things. So people have known for a long time that there might be some cool things, but we haven't done a lot of exploration in this area. until the last few years. So this is, by the end of this dive, we will have really covered and captured the western portion of this canyon in quite fine detail in terms of doing some exploring, poking around. You'll see as we check out different species, what the communities are like, but then also doing standardized. Sorry about that. I think I dropped out for a moment. Erica and I are experiencing a little instability in V-Link right now, just so the team knows.
Yes, I just got back on. Thank you, Kirsten, for mentioning that.
Yeah.
So I just saw hake in the water column, so we'll start to see perhaps more of them. They're a little bit larger than myctophids. There's a fishery for Pacific hake.
Have a resident. And so that's those kind of mucus membranes that we've seen in the water column. As they come by, kind of take a look and see if there's something living inside, and we'll keep an eye out. So where we are going to be landing has been mapped, and we believe we are going to be landing in a rugose or hard substrate. But we will see quite how hard it is, because we need to kind of ground truth the information that we have in the mapping data, but that is what we are hoping for. And when we have that hard substrate, we have something for coral and sponges to hold on to. And so that's where we expect the corals and sponges need something to be rooted on, not that they have roots, but attached to, and then also good currents that are, carrying marine snow, zooplankton, all the little larval creatures as they come by. So this, where we're diving, has all of those things. It's also an area that has opened to bottom trawling in this year, just since the new year. And so we're always going to keep an eye out for any signs of human activity, any disturbance to the seafloor bottom. And if we do, then we would get a sense for what is happening, what kind of impacts are happening.
Just going to jump in here and do an audio slate. This is an audio slate for dive H1824. UTC time is 073857. Mark.
Heard you guys doing introductions earlier. Sorry, we were sorting something out up here in the front row. This is Renato Kane. I'm the navigator on this watch.
And this is Stephen Matter in the video chair.
This is Jake Bonney. I'm in the Argus chair.
Thanks, everybody. Great to be with you again.
Maybe, I don't know if we got Dan, the Herc pilot. We spoke before, but I don't think we got his name.
He's here, all right. Otherwise,
He's here.
we wouldn't be able to do it. Oh, you're on mute.
Yeah, try that again. Yeah, this is Dan sitting in her chair. I'm here. Tired of playing with our toys on the way down. So.
Understandable. We didn't want to interrupt you too much.
Trying to get all our ducks in a row so we're ready for prime time when we hit the seabed.
We're hoping for some rocky habitat, so fingers crossed.
Cliffs too?
No idea. We'll find out.
Oh, on the bar.
So we are currently at 800 meters.
See, a lot of the mactophids have disappeared now. They are all in the surface, shallower waters.
Yeah, what was that, 300 meters to 500 that we were seeing then?
I think I spot the bottom.
Pretty much.
Oh, right, we're just diving in 900 meters. We are getting there.
There's the bottom and sub-bottom. Yep. Nice. It's pretty crisp today. Got that gain dialed. Yeah, I actually was just going to ask about that. What is that? Is it a different frequency or what? I wonder if it's blown out from another sonar or something. I've never used it, to answer your question. Never seen it used. Sorry.
Eric, I'm just looking at the report. Are the objectives the same off the top of your head?
Yes,
I can
same as
move
yesterday.
them over. Shall I move them over?
Sure, to the reporting, the data report.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I think Jan is working in there too, but that'd be great.
Jan, feel free to change anything.
Dan, I expect it to be pretty flat when we get down there. Flat-ish. Yeah, 2J, and then up here is the general direction we'll be going, and it starts to be a bit of a canyon wall, but TBD on how steep that slope is up here. But for now, this is flat.
Did you say cliff? No,
Cliff?
canyon wall.
Canyon wall? Cliff? I'm wary about saying cliff.
Yeah, I understand.
It's Herc, 50 meters off. Why don't you slow down a little or go manual? Let me get down below you there.
So that was a little larval crab that just went by.
Okay, come all stop there, Jake.
I'll switch you over to Doppler.
Roger.
There you go, you're on Doppler now.
Yes. Yes, we actually saw one yesterday. So I'll keep my eye out. It looks like Paragorgia, but it's white. And the one we saw yesterday, yeah, it just like had a couple fingers yesterday. It was small. Yes. Yep.
Didn't really mean to do that. Not sure I came under Argus. I should be able to look right down, Jake, on
All right.
north heading and see her pop out there.
There it is.
Yeah. Look down a little more.
Yeah, you see that feather bit?
More. Look down more.
Yep.
Like there's a turn in that tether. Bring your head to the starboard a little, 10, 20 degrees.
How long is the tether between Herc and Argus?
35 meters.
Motion.
Some current here.
Looks like it.
Bring your head to the right there, Jake, and have a look. See what happens.
So it looks like we
That's
are.
good. Then look up a bit. Just a dog leg, I think. We had a wrap on recovery, so we're going to play with it here for a minute and see if it's going to be an issue.
Oh, what a great place to land. So
Yeah.
in terms of coral.
Oh, it's just ripping here.
Dan, let me know when it's a good time to do our white balance.
Yeah, Roger. We're going to come sit down on the seabed and do a white balance and focus the DSC and get it set up.
Roger.
It's nice to see a different habitat than yesterday.
Gonna find a
little more
clear
rocky.
place to land without landing on coral.
It's a forest. Can really see the
Hey,
current of
Jake,
the,
you can come down 5. Yeah, it's just ripping.
oh, the coral is bending with it.
You want to bring up that DSC for me?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect. So should be able to focus on the coral there when we land, hopefully. I don't know if Nicole's back there.
Yeah, she's back
Yep. She's on it.
Sorry, just finding a good place to land it. Here.
there. Clear viz. That's nice.
Wow, I can see. Can you white balance on a coral, Stephen?
Not ideal.
What?
Maybe a sponge. Some of them get pretty white.
The flutist has been here again. You want to show me the manip? What's it doing way out there?
I don't know.
Hanging out.
Try to chase the end effector now. So. Show us the end of it, Jake. Nah, thanks. Make sure I don't bump. That's good. You can turn on the porch light too.
Yep.
Zoom in.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Yeah, you can do it. That's fine.
Gonna do a
Okay, we're gonna go black for a moment.
Copy.
gonna do a DVL reset. Looks like we're all good there.
Roger.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. No. It's just messing with you, Steve.
What's that?
Nothing.
Does it look the same?
No, it's just because the iris was all hot.
Oh.
Laughing.
Well, there's some discussion there on that technique.
Oh yeah?
Some of the other kids only do a certain percentage of the screen. You can zoom in there if you want to get the background ambience in. So I guess what you're doing there by focusing all the way in is getting what's in the water between that and the white.
Yep.
But that doesn't allow you any, I don't know.
Well, I'm happy to have that discussion. I'd like to hear what they
Oh,
think.
we've had it.
Just following the checklist. My
Yeah.
first white balance of the year.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I always give the video engineer some grief on the first white balance of the year.
All right, science. Well, we're all set up here.
Not quite.
Not quite. What we got? DSC cam?
I think so, yeah. You want to zoom in there, though? Test our new white balance.
I mean, the only way to test it is to look at, is to go down there